Hi everyone. Welcome to Concept of Evil. In 2014, on a subway train in Taiwan, a young man unleashed a reign of terror on the passengers on board the train. Today we're gonna find out what happened on this day. It feels good. Cheng told the police after his killing spree on a subway train in Taipei, Taiwan, on May 21, 2014. At around 4:22 p.m. local time, inside a Bannan Line train, some passengers were taking naps, some were on their phones, and some were just engrossed in their own thoughts. Whatever the case is, everyone had their own destination. After the doors closed at Longshan Station, passengers in the middle part of the train carriage reportedly heard screaming and saw people running towards the front of the train. A man emerged from the back of the train in a red t-shirt and shorts. He was seen with blood all over him with a knife in his hand. He was grabbing and stabbing random passengers at sight as he moved towards the front of the train. A few unfortunate passengers were stabbed while some were lying motionless on the ground. There was blood everywhere. As he continues his stabbing spree, a woman who was stabbed begged for her life. But the man just stabbed her 2 more times, killing her in the end. The killing slows down when a few brave passengers try to block the man with their own umbrellas. It was a chaotic and horrific scene. As the train reaches the Zhangzhai Chui station, the man runs out of the train and continues his killing spree. Fortunately, he was subdued by the security, police officers, and other passengers before he could hurt anyone. There were a total of 4 casualties and 22 injured passengers. The first casualty was a 30-year-old man who was on his way to an interview after receiving his master's degree. His father told reporters that he had traveled from the south state of Taiwan to Taipei to seek employment. The second casualty is a 53-year-old woman working as a janitor. She was on her way home after work. Her husband told reporters he was planning to celebrate her birthday the next day. The third casualty is a 28-year-old. He left behind his 2 children and wife. His father told reporters that losing his only son was a big blow to him and his wife. The fourth casualty was a 61-year-old retiree. She was on her way to meet her friends for a meal when the tragedy struck. The police arrested the suspect, Cheng, a 21-year-old university student. At the time of the arrest, he was studying at Tunghai University. Cheng was born in New Taipei, Taiwan. He was brought up in a middle-class family. He had a younger brother and loving parents. His parents claimed that he had a normal childhood and was not abused in any ways. When Cheng was in elementary school, a teacher made him apologize after a female classmate accused him of not playing his flute properly during music class. Cheng was furious that he was shamed in front of his classmates. When Cheng was in junior high, he was once punished physically by his teacher. No details were given on why he was punished. After the punishment, Cheng would develop a deep hatred for this particular teacher. He would often have thoughts of killing him, so he would hide a penknife in his jacket during class. His classmates described Cheng as an antisocial guy. During this time, he was hooked on violent video games. After class, Cheng would go home and play video games for hours. Cheng would describe his senior high school years as the best time of his life. He started to make more friends and become active in sports. He even got a black belt in Taekwondo. During this time, he started to write his blog, writing about his thoughts on killing people. According to his high school friends, Cheng would often tell them about his plans to kill people. In 2011, after high school, Cheng enrolled in the Chongqing Institute of Technology, a military academy located in Taoyuan City. Soon after, he was expelled due to poor grades and was transferred to Tunghai University in Taichung. Getting expelled from the military academy was a big blow to Cheng as it was his lifelong dream to get into the academy. During his time at Tunghai University, Cheng was often in his dorm playing video games with his roommates. He had no girlfriend, was not into any social activities, and his only friends were his roommates. A month before the killing spree, school officials had noticed Cheng's startling social media activity. In his Facebook post, he wrote that he wanted to do something big. When school officials questioned Cheng's intention, he told them he was planning to write a crime novel. The school officials knew Cheng had an interest in writing since high school. so they dismissed any ill intention that he might have had. A few hours before the attack, Cheng met up with his classmate for lunch at McDonald's. At first, they chatted about video games and stuff. His classmate did not notice anything odd about Cheng. Before they parted ways, Cheng told him he was going to kill people afterwards. Thinking Cheng was joking, his classmate did not take him seriously. After parting ways, Cheng went to a nearby grocery store to purchase the knife he used for the attack. During police interrogation, Cheng told the police that he wanted to do something big in his life. He told them he had always to kill since he was young and had no regrets for what he had done. Cheng went on to explain that he plotted the entire attack on this day. Although the victims were random, the attack was not. Before the attack took place, he told a few of his close friends not to take the subway train on this day. He also asked them to inform their families as well. He calculated the train duration from Zhangzhai Chui Station to Longshan Station was around 4 minutes. This gives him enough time to prey on his victims. Cheng shows a lack of remorse when he apologizes to the victims' family members. The victims' family members claim that Cheng apologized because his defense lawyer wanted him to do so. Cheng also told the police he wanted the death penalty as soon as possible because he had nothing to live for. According to the psychiatrist's assessment, Cheng was suffering from a narcissistic personality disorder. A narcissistic personality disorder involves a pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior, a lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. Cheng's family was devastated as well. They couldn't believe their son had become a murderer. Guilt-ridden over Cheng's killing, Cheng's father got down on his knees in front of the media and apologized to the families of the victims. On the 10th of May 2016, Cheng was sentenced to death after the court ruled he was not mentally ill. In a turn of events, Cheng was due for execution just 18 days after his sentencing. It was a quick decision made by the law minister as she felt it was a must for Cheng's execution. The law minister told the media that the decision was made swiftly to prevent any interference due to the severity of the case. In fact, Cheng's defense lawyer only learned about the decision on the day of the execution after receiving a text message from a reporter. His defense lawyer tried to call the Law Society to appeal the decision, but it was too late. When someone from the Law Society picked up the phone, the ministry had already announced the decision at a press conference. Before his execution, he asked for a Taiwanese bento as his last meal. Cheng was perceived to be executed by the firing squad. According to reports, he was shot 3 times before taking his last breath. After Cheng's execution, Cheng's family did not hold any funeral ceremony for him. According to the funeral parlor, Cheng's body was cremated and his ashes were sent to the columbarium complex straight away. His father's last words to the media was that he hoped Cheng would be a better person in his next life. Not long after Cheng's execution, reporters managed to get a tip-off from a moving company that Cheng's family had relocated from Taipei to another state in Taiwan. Not many details were given, except for the family relocation. I guess the family just wanted some peace and quiet. That's why they relocated. I don't think it was easy to deal with the scrutiny from the media, the families of the victims and members of the public. Looking at Cheng's life, you can see there were clear indicators of what made him into the monster he is today. From bringing a penknife to school and planning to use it to kill his teacher, to writing fantasies about killing people and telling his friends about his killing plans before the actual attack. Could the actual killing spree have been prevented if there had been intervention early in Cheng's life? Or could it be prevented if Cheng's parents sent him for therapy before the attack? All we knew is Cheng left his mark as one of the most notorious killer in Taiwan's history. Since Cheng's attack in 2014, subway stations have since beefed up their security. But the measures did not prevent the increase in the number of similar random attacks in Taiwan. Most of the cases end up with life sentences instead of the death penalty. A public outcry for the death penalty for murderers was met by local human rights groups and the judge's decision for a life sentence instead. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.